Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody. I'm Evan James, also known as EvanJamesWx. Today I'm just wanting to kind of take a look at our daily GFS models, and we also have a new CFS model out. And last but not least, we're going to take a look at the Southern Oscillation Index. So if you go on to enjoy this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss a time when I upload next. Without further ado, let's get into things. So starting off here on the GFS, I have not seen this run before, so we're going to start at current times and work our way up. One thing you will begin to notice here is that we do have a Gulf Stream of moisture here, kind of following that low pressure system off the coast of the Northeast, so kind of an interesting thing to look at there. As we go on time here, through on time I should say, there is a possibility for a northern snowstorm that has been showing up on the past couple of model runs here, and it seems to mostly affect parts of Canada, maybe upper Michigan, and as we move through the day on Friday, maybe some of that turns over to snow here in parts of Indiana, Ohio, and the parts of upper New York State. And as we kind of go on through the run, one thing I do actually notice here on the 13th of February is the possibility for some very, very light accumulations across the Deep South. And this is kind of the point where we start getting into fantasy land here, and you'll see a lot of things like this pop up. If this were to happen, this would be a pretty decent severe weather event here across the South, but it is definitely not set in stone whatsoever at all. As we go through the 19th, 20th, 21st, 22nd, there does seem to be another pattern here resembling the potential for some sort of severe weather in mid to late February, which isn't actually too crazy if you look at the upcoming PNA and overall jet pattern and everything like that. It does seem like we will have severe weather here somewhere across, it's a very, very large area because it is very far out, but there is a possibility that somebody sees severe weather in that area through the last week of February. And as you can see, right as we get towards the end of the run, there's that severe weather, possibly even stretching all the way down to portions of Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana by the 23rd. So all of it is a very, very big time frame here. But just basically the takeaways is that some part of the eastern U.S. here is going to have severe weather. The north is most likely going to see some sort of snow through Friday. And that's about it. Other than that, it's a pretty calm pattern. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and take our daily look at the Southern Oscillation Index. So as you all can see, one thing to note about the Southern Oscillation Index is that it's on the rise. It will not stop rising. We are getting to the point now where we're almost at an 8 or a 9 on the Southern Oscillation Index, which is the positive 8 or 9. That would resemble a pretty decent La Nina pattern here across parts of the US. But given that severe weather and the fact that resembles more of an El Nino type pattern, this might go down, it might go up. Of course it's going to fluctuate, all right? That's what it's always going to do. I mean, you can see it here. You could even see it potentially here, how it started to go up and then kind of stabilize. Fluctuations are going to happen. It is just something to look at in the current time. That the fact that we have been kind of very so up and down, and the times that we have been up have resembled a La Nina-like pattern here, like in early January as we saw, and then we saw the warming kind of begin here around mid to late January. That's reflected here on the Southern Oscillation Index. So it is a very, very good tool to kind of use to put the puzzle pieces together. It's not necessarily just the puzzle put together itself, if that makes any sense whatsoever. I want you guys to notice something here with the Southern Oscillation Index. Do you notice how it's been going up ever since January 30th? That is actually reflected in the Nino 3.4 region here. As you can see, around ever since about January 30th, the sea surface temperatures have actually been trending downwards, further reflecting that La Nina-like pattern. These subsurface warming temperatures might actually stay at bay for a while, and like I mentioned in my forecast discussion of the off-season yesterday, and I might have referenced it in my overall preliminary hurricane season forecast, the fact that these SOI values are going very, very positive here might reflect that we might fall again as far as sea surface temperature go. And this is the big puzzle piece, the big thing here, is if these sea surface temperatures can stay down in this region all the way through April, like I said, if that's the case, then there is a pretty high chance that we are going to stay in that La Nina for a decent amount of time, and maybe even potentially through June. And taking a look at our overall sea surface temperature pattern just across the globe, this is just the general anomalies. This is based in Celsius here. And one thing you will notice is, yes, those La Nina-like temperatures are still in place. You know, we might have a warming Pacific on this side, but the Nino 3.4 region is still definitely below the long-term running average. And one thing you will notice that is still interesting is that the Gulf, Caribbean, and overall Atlantic is still running above the all-time average. If we even take a look at our 7-day changes here, one thing you will notice further reflecting the Southern Oscillation Index is the fact that temperatures are starting to fall again below the all-time average, even in the past 7 days. I mean, this is even reflected here on the Southern Oscillation. Look what's been happening for the past 7 days. You kind of take that there, you take this here, and you can really see that the Southern Oscillation has a big, pretty decent amount puzzle piece, whatever you want to call it, to our Enso region. So the bottom line of this all here is that we're going to have to wait a couple more weeks, couple more months. I keep saying that, I can't stress that enough, but it is very, very interesting to see this La Nina to be currently sticking around as long as it has, and it's going to be interesting to see either A, it sticks around through June, B, we switch to an Enso neutral, or a C, you know, we even climb high enough to an El Nino, which I do not think is highly possible, but it is always something on the table. And once we get past March, April, and May, we're going to know so much more about those scenarios. Alright everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload when I do next. And without further ado guys, take care. See you next time. Bye bye.